On my honour, I promise to do my best to be true to my spiritual beliefs, to contribute to my community and our world, to help other people and to live by the Scout law.
This year we're talking about Anzac Day and the importance to Australians. Even though we can't be there at Anzac Day, doesn't mean we can't commemorate it like we always do. Stay with us and we'll discuss it. Anzac Day is a really special day in Australian history. On the 25th of April 1915, Australians landed on the beaches of Gallipoli, 16,000 men in all. By the end of the day, 2,000 of those 16,000 men had died in battle. War memorials, like this one at Greensborough, are a reminder of the sacrifice that people made for the benefit of us in the future.
Everything on Gallipoli rattled. Oh dear. Wherever you went on Gallipoli, there was a possibility of being hit by some ironmongery of some sort.
I remember I got one night, they said, you've got to go out and patrol tonight. And of course, it's an awful experience at night time. You know, you see a little bit of paper, you know, waste paper out there and it's blowing around. You just crush, you swear somebody moving.
Inwardly, you were frightened. Outwardly, you wasn't going to come to life because you had mates, and they were all in the same predicament as what you were. Got them frightened about.
This chap, Richardson, was wounded in the landing. The Turks were using shrapnel, and in the shrapnel case, there were all sorts of bits of metal, gramophone needles and things like that, all mixed in with a few pellets. And he got the burst of one of these pretty close up because some of these needles caught him over the eye, and he was blinded in one eye. And he never let on to the army people. He was treated in Egypt and then came back to the peninsula. And I found him one day pulling a needle out of his forehead that had worked out. And wonderful chap, you know. And he didn't let on that he was blind in one eye.
If we had a weakling amongst us, the other three would bolster him up. Either if he wanted a little bit of rousing on, you know, if he started crying or a little bit of shell shock, we would sort of calm him down, sort of thing.
On every war memorial in Australia, there is a list of people who gave their lives in different theatres of the war, such as this board here that displays where we fought from 1939 to 1945 in World War II. There's similar boards for World War I and similar boards, wars like the Boer War and obviously Gallipoli. Of course, the most important thing that comes out of war is one very, very important message we must never, ever forget. because of COVID-19 this year, there'll be no Anzac Day services. But that doesn't mean that we can't be involved in Anzac Day. Check out the activity sheet that's at the bottom of this video to find out what you can do to contribute towards Anzac Day and still be a part of what's a very, very important part of Australia's history.
Now when I was a young man, I carried me pack, and I lived the free life on the roller. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, oh, I waltzed my Matilda all over. Then in 1915, my country said, son, it's time you stop rambling, there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat and they gave me a gun, and they marched me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as the ship pulled away from the quay. And amidst all the cheers, the flag waving and tears, we sailed off for Gallipoli. How well I remember that terrible day, how our blood stained the sand and the water, and of how in that hell that they called Sula Bay, we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turk, he was waiting, he primed himself well, he showered us with bullets and he rained us with shell. And in 5 minutes flat, he'd blown us all to hell, nearly blew us right back to Australia. But the band played Waltzing Matilda when we stopped to bury our slain. We buried ours, and the Turks buried theirs, then we started all over again. And those that were left, we tried to survive in that mad world of blood, death and fire. And for 10 weary weeks I kept myself alive, though around me the corpses piled higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me off over the head, and when I woke up in me hospital bed and saw what it had done, oh, I wished I was dead. Never knew there was worse things than dying. For I'll go no more waltzing Matilda all around the green bush far and free, to hum tent and pegs a man needs both legs, no more waltzing Matilda for me.
This has been recorded by the Eltham North Cub Group for Scouts Victoria.